హలో ఈ కొత్త లింక్ పంపించారండి స్టూడెంట్స్ కి ఎవరు జాయిన్ అవ్వలేదు Okay. We'll wait for a few more minutes, Bhanu. We'll just wait for 5 more minutes and see if the others join.
Okay.
Again, if there's the link issue, then I'll ask the institute to rectify it by tomorrow at least, and so that all the others can join. And and again, if it's just you and me, we'll keep the class on hold for today.
Okay.
The others might miss out on some topics.
Okay.
Right. So we'll just wait for 5 more minutes. I'm so sorry to keep you waiting.
Okay, no problem.
And we'll connect back tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll conclude the session. Networking. In the meanwhile, if you have any questions also, we can clarify those. We can have a small Q&A session if you have any topic discussions to cover on cyber security or regarding the course or anything. Contents of the course. Did you go through the recording by any chance?
Yes, sir.
Did you go through all the recordings, Bhanu, from the very first class?
Yeah. I have joined the class from the first day.
Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. Right. As of now, no questions then, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay. No worries. Any feedback on the classes, Manu? Is the audio and video fine? Is there any issue with the audio or video? Is the pace fine?
No issue with anything. I think your voice, when the class started, it's going on, right? It will be get clarity. Only the initial time we'll get some low noise. When the class is started and it is going on, again it will be okay.
Okay.
Nothing apart from that, no issues. Everything
Pace is fine, right? Do am I going too fast or something?
No.
All okay, right? Okay. Good, perfect. Did anyone join? So we were actually supposed to be covering some important protocols today. What is DHCP protocol? What is DNS protocol? How do you assign an IP manually from the control panel? We talked about all the classes on all yesterday, I suppose. Today I have to talk about subnet mask, how to assign the IP manually from the control panel, how do you get it automatically from a DHCP server, what is DORA process in DHCP server, and what is a DNS server. So we had to cover all this in today's class actually. But again, I think one person joined. Hi, Venkatesh. Can you hear me?
Hi, sir.
Hey, Venkatesh. Venkatesh, first session or you were there in the earlier sessions as well?
No, I was there in the earlier sessions also.
Right. Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. Let's get started then without any further ado. So again, we were supposed to talk about the subnet mask in today's class. The strength is a bit low today, Venkatesh. Again, I was informed that the link, again, there was a change in the link or something, and maybe the students didn't receive the new link or so, but that should be rectified by tomorrow. So what we'll do is we'll cover some topics today. I won't take the regular lengthy session. I'll take a shorter session today. And once everyone gets the link and once everyone is present, we'll take up the complete session tomorrow. Okay. So let's get started without any further ado. So the first thing we'll cover today is what is subnet mask. So when we open up our command prompt, and in the command prompt, when I type ipconfig to check my private IP, you can see under the private IP, I see something called subnet mask over here. Okay. So what is the subnet mask? What is this default gateway? So to explain it in very simple manner, subnet mask is for the computer or the information system to understand which IP belongs to which class. Okay. And the simple logic that it uses to understand that is it identifies the network portion with the value of 1 and the host portion with the value of 0. So in class A, when you have 1 network portion and 3 host portions, subnet mask is you put all 1s in the first portion and all 0s in the last 3 portions. And when you convert that from binary to decimal, all 1s is 255 and all 0s is simply 0. So for class A with one network portion and three host portions, subnet mask is 255.0.0.0. For class B with two network portions and two host portions, subnet mask is 255.255.0.0. And for class C with three network portions and one host portion, subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. So if you notice over here, my system is getting, oh, close the command prompt. Right. So my system here is getting an IPv4 address, which is belonging to class C. And since it belongs to class C, I'm getting the subnet mask 255.255.255.0. So when the computer reads that subnet mask, or when it sees that subnet mask, it understands, okay, I belong to class C. So in my network, I can only communicate with a maximum of 255 devices. So from that, it gets to know the first IP and the last IP range. Okay. So again, a subnet mask is for the computer or information systems to understand which class they belong to and how many devices can they communicate in their local network. Okay. Is that clear, guys? Any questions regarding that?
No question.
Right. And under that, there is something called default gateway, guys. So basically, default gateway is the fancy name given to your Wi-Fi router because it acts as a gateway and it's the default device which you have to send the packets to. Okay, so if I go back to this diagram here, a couple slides back, you remember this diagram, right? So when any of these devices wants to communicate with the internet, they always have to send the data to the router here. So this is the default device which they have to send the packets to. And this acts as a gateway between the private network devices and the public network devices. Hence the name default gateway. Okay. And usually your default gateway gets the first IP in the network and all the other hosts follow after it. Okay. Moving on, let's talk about how do you assign a private IP to your devices. So to get a private IP, there are two methods, guys. One, you can get it manually. So you can assign it yourself from the control panel. Or two, you can get it from something called a DHCP server. We'll discuss both these methods today. Okay. So the first method to, again, assign it manually from the control panel, you have to go to your control panel first. CONTRO with control panel. And in control panel, you click on network and internet. In network and internet, you go to network and sharing center. In network and sharing center, you click on change adapter settings. And this shows the list of all adapters on your device. There is a shortcut to reach this page as well. Again, if you open up your run Windows R, here you can type ncpa.cpl. And with that shortcut, you get the same page again. Okay. So again, once you're on this page, these are all your network adapters on your system. And for whichever adapter you want to assign the IP, right click on that, go to properties, IPv4 properties, Internet Protocol version 4 properties. And here you can assign the IP. So right now I'm getting the IP automatically, guys. So I'm getting it from a DHCP server. But if I wanted to, I can assign a unique IP myself. So I can type the IP here, 192.168.0.100, let's say. Since this is class C, the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. So it automatically assigns that there. And the default gateway, the router's IP, is the first IP, as we all know. Okay. And along with these three pieces of information, it is also going to ask you a DNS server address. Now, don't worry what a DNS server is, guys. We'll talk about that in the next session. Okay. But for now, if you don't know what to enter here, you can go to your browser. And in your browser, you can simply search Google DNS server IP. And this will provide you two IP addresses. One is 8.8.8.8 and the other one is 8.8.4.4. And you can use any one of those. Okay. So even if you provide one of them, that's also sufficient. 8.8.8.8 or 8.8.4.4. Okay. And now as soon as I click OK, my system's IP will change from the existing one to the one which I've configured here. Okay. So in the olden days, when you were the network admin, and if you had the responsibility to check all the network connections in the organization, it was your job to check to it that every system got an IP. So you would have to go to each system and manually assign the IP this way. But if it's a small network, that's fine. But if, for a larger network, again, the job gets a bit hectic there. So that's why it's much easier to get IP addresses automatically from a DHCP server. Okay. But what is a DHCP server and how does it function? Let's talk about that now. Any questions in the manual assignment part, guys? Here, how do you assign an IP manually? I'm not changing it here now, guys, because if I do so, we might lose our connection. My system will, with the new IP, it will try to reroute the connection again. So we would lose the audio for a while. So I don't want to do that. Okay. But again, as soon as I click OK, this IP will be assigned to my system. Now you might also have a question, what if this IP is already assigned to someone else? Then you'll get a pop-up saying IP conflict error. This IP is already used by other device, so you have to change this one to another one. Okay. So right now, if I want the automatic IP, I can select the first option and click OK. Okay. So any questions with that, Bhanu, Venkat?
No.
No.
Right. Now moving on to the DHCP protocol thing. So DHCP stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, guys. From the name itself, you can figure out what it does. It is to dynamically or automatically configure an IP address to every host in the network. Okay. So basically your DHCP server has a pool of free IPs, like you can see on the right side. And from that pool of free IPs, it assigns each IP to a unique system on the device, on the network. So each unique system gets a unique IP automatically from a DHCP server. And how does it do that? It does with something called a DORA process. Okay. So let me explain what this DORA process is now. So 1 second. Now in our home networks, guys, you might have it out. Where is the DHCP server in our home network? So our Wi-Fi router itself acts as a DHCP server. Just to give you the confirmation for that, I can go to my command prompt, run a command ipconfig/all/all. And this will show you much more detailed information. And you can see over here, when you check the DHCP server address, so this is the DHCP server, you can see it is the same as my default gateway. So my router and my DHCP server is the same device in our home network. In organizations, you can have separate devices for that. But in your home networks, your Wi-Fi router itself acts as a DHCP server. Okay. And as mentioned, your DHCP server has a pool of free IPs. So this is my DHCP here. Let's assume it has a pool of free IPs. Okay. So your default gateway or your DHCP server gets the first IP, and the remaining IPs are mentioned here in a pool. Right. So whenever there are devices in the network connected with the DHCP server, your DHCP server automatically assigns each system here a unique IP. And the procedure it follows to do that is called the DORA procedure or the DORA process. Okay. So with that DORA process, each system gets a unique IP here. So this could be 0.2, this becomes 0.3. Okay. And as soon as those IPs are assigned to the devices, those are removed from the pool again. So now this becomes 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Now, what is this DORA? Okay, so let's assume we bring one more device in the network here. Okay. And when this device is selected on that option, obtain an IP address automatically in the control panel, the first thing that this device does is it sends something called a discover packet. So to every other device in the network, it sends a signal. Now you might ask a question, how does it do that? Okay, so it sends a packet on the broadcast IP. So the last IP, 255, is called the broadcast IP. So when any packet is sent to this IP, it is sent to every other device in the network. So if you send it to 255, the packet, oh, sorry. Yeah. So the packet would go to 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. It goes to each and every system in the network. Okay. So this packet, oh, sorry. Where? Yeah, much better. Right. So this packet is called the discover packet, guys. Okay. So to figure out or discover where the DHCP server is, it is asking each system, Are you the DHCP server? Are you the DHCP server? Are you the DHCP server? So when it reaches the wrong devices, they just block the packet. They don't respond to it at all. Okay. But when it reaches the correct system, correct DHCP server, that responds back saying, hi, I'm the DHCP server in this network, and I can offer you an IP address. So it offers the next available IP. Let's say 192.168.0.4. Okay. 1 second, guys. Someone's at the door. Let me quickly get that. Apologies for the interruption. Right. So once that offer is made, your system now says, hi, thanks for offering me that IP. I request you that you allocate that IP to my device and do not offer it to anybody else. So a request is sent here. And with that request, your DHCP server now sends a final confirmation, also commonly known as an acknowledgement. And with that acknowledgement, this device gets the IP 192.168.0.4, the next IP. Okay. And that is removed from the pool again. So the next available IP will be 0.5 directly. Okay. So that is how each system performs the DORA process and gets a unique IP in the network with the DHCP server. So I'm pretty sure you must have observed this at least once, guys. So when you connect your phone to the Wi-Fi router, after you enter the correct password and click on connect, your phone shows a message obtaining IP address. Not sure how many of you have ever observed that, but that is the procedure where it is performing the DORA process with the router, okay, to try to obtain an IP. Okay. And after the IP is assigned, then it shows connected. Okay. So that is the DORA happening in the background. Okay. So that is how you can get an IP assigned automatically to each device in the network from DHCP. Okay. Any questions, any doubts up to this point? Venkat, Bhanu, Venkatesh.
No, it's clear.
Right. So yeah, that's that, guys. Again, as as mentioned already, seems to be some issue with the link. That's why not many people have joined today. So I'll see to it that it gets rectified by tomorrow. And tomorrow we shall conclude this networking topic and also get into the lab session, the practical lab session tomorrow. Okay. So that's it. Nothing further. A simple and a short session, understanding what subnet mask is and what DHCP protocol is. Bhanu, any questions? Venkatesh, any questions? Venkat, you mentioned no question.
No.
Right. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for joining the session today. We'll be connecting back tomorrow. I think tomorrow would be the last demo, guys. So if you have not registered already, please do register at the earliest. Okay. So tomorrow will be our last demo. We conclude networking topics and also have our first practical session to give you a much more better experience from the demos. Okay. So yeah.
Shoaib,
Yeah.
in the chat they have shared this comment, right, for the payment thing.
In the chat, they have shared what?
For the payment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bank
So who
guys.
we need to confirm if we want to pay from Google Pay or Phone Pay, directly we can call them and we can pay, right?
Yeah, there's a number for Google Pay as well, right?
Yeah.
8896. Yeah, you can pay. You can send the payment on that number directly,
Okay.
Bhanu. And you can just send a screenshot once the payment is done. As mentioned, please send a screenshot of payment receipt to this email, DURGASOFT online training. So with that, it gets confirmed.
Okay, sure.
You can make the payment and send a screenshot on that email, Bhanu.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, that's that. Nothing further, guys. We'll connect back tomorrow at the same time. Thanks for joining today. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye.